Okay, so you want to use your smartphone to film yourself creating art. I do this all the time here on YouTube with my penmanship and calligraphy. And then I'm also posting videos on Instagram, Reddit, social media. And it's pretty clear that when I post a video, those always get more likes and comments than when I post still images. Which just tells me that people are out there. They want to see videos of people creating art. They just don't want to see the end product. They want to see that creation process. Another reason that I film myself creating art is for critique and to figure out how to get better at my discipline, which is penmanship. So whether you want to create a video to share with your audience or for yourself for your own review, I'm making this video today to show you how I go about filming myself creating art. All right, so if you are creating art and you want to film it, you're going to need some type of overhead shot, and that's kind of the shot I'm giving you right now with my handy cam that I have in my hand. Sorry for the shaking. And if you're straight on overhead, you're probably going to be missing some of the action because your hand, when you're writing or drawing, is going to be in the way. So what I do is, you can see I've kind of tilted my phone off to the left here, and it's kind of looking in on this side angle like this. As you can see, I'm tilting my camera, the handy cam now. So you get this kind of side angle, which allows you to see the work being created without the hand doing the work getting in the way. Okay, so that's just one little tip. Play around with the angles, figure out what works best for you. Other than that, just logistically, I have this flexible arm smart tree tripod, which wasn't too expensive. I don't remember how much it was, but it clips to the top of my secretary's desk here, and I can get a nice overhead shot on my work. Now, you probably don't have a secretary's desk. You probably just have a regular desk, in which case you could use a tripod like this, which is also very inexpensive. That's what I used for a long time, and that kind of just clips to the bottom part of the desk. Would just clip to any regular desk that you have and give you that overhead shot. Now, ideally, would be really nice would be to have some type of boom setup where your tripod is anchored to the floor or another desk or something to the left that's not touching what you're working on, so that you really eliminate any shaking of the camera with that type of setup. But those overhead boom type of setups are obviously more expensive. But I would say with tripods, you get what you pay for. I mean, this one was definitely cheaper, and it gave me a lot more headaches than this Smart Tree flexible arm one. Neither were super expensive at all, but you just seem to get what you pay for. But if you're on a small budget, get something cheap and you make it work, and you just have to deal with whatever little headaches it gives you. So that's the tripod setup. All right, if you're on a really tight budget and you need an overhead tripod, I would suggest searching DIY overhead tripod on YouTube, and you'll find a ton of videos. I've just searched it here. You'll find a bunch of videos with different ideas on how you can set up a really cheap budget overhead camera rig. So check it out, do your research, and you'll find something that you can, people doing stuff with PVC pipe and all kinds of stuff to get that overhead shot for cheap. So you can make it work on just about any budget. All right, so most smartphones, like my iPhone, features a very wide angle lens, which makes sense. But when you want to capture artwork and you want to get really close and up close and personal on something, it doesn't work so well. So what I've done is I've purchased this telephoto lens by Sandmark. It was about $100, and it comes with this case for my phone, and I can just screw it into the case like this. And it's not the easiest thing to screw in, but once you get it in there, take the cap off, and now you have a 2x zoom on your phone, on your wide angle lens, which is really nice because it gets closer on the artwork without me having to get the phone super close to the artwork. So I can get barely close enough without this lens on the phone, but I have to get my phone so close to the artwork that it's really like, now it's in my way, and it's like between me and the artwork. Or I'd rather have it mounted more out here, kind of almost like over by my shoulder, out of my field of vision. And I can do that with this zoom angle lens, with this telephoto lens, which zooms in 2x without losing any quality. Now, like I said, it's $100, so it's not exactly cheap, and it works great if you're in the center of the frame. around the edges of the frame, it gets a little blurry with this lens. Now there's another lens by Moment. This one's made by Sandmark. I think I said $100. Moment makes one that's a little more expensive. I haven't used it. Maybe it works a little better. But these are just nice to get that phone kind of out of the way, but still getting a nice tight shot. And with penmanship calligraphy, getting that nice tight shot is really what you want. And maybe with your type of art, you want to get a tight shot too. So you might want to look into grabbing one of these. Okay, so something you want to eliminate as much as possible is any shaking of the camera. So like my setup right now, I have my tripod attached to my desk. So if I put some weight on this desk, if I move it, you're going to see that shaking, and it is very annoying. It's something I need to work on better about doing, and maybe even really just get a better setup, because really the ideal way to get rid of this is to not have your camera mounted to the desk that you're working on. Have it mounted off the desk, on a stool, on something to the left or right of your desk that is not connected to the desk, so that if you shake the desk, you won't shake the camera. But obviously it's not possible for a lot of people. You don't want to get that crazy of a setup. So your best bet is to just pay as much attention as you can to the way you're putting weight on the desk and shaking it, and try to eliminate that. Your viewers will thank you. Another thing you want to eliminate is excessive shadows over your work, as you can see here in this video right now. So right now I have a light turned on that's kind of over above me and to my left, and it's creating the shadow in front of my hand and to my right, which is covering up a lot of the work, and it's just kind of hiding what you're doing. So do your best to get a lighting setup that eliminates shadows over your work. All right, so I've just kind of changed my lighting situation here. I've turned off that light that's above me and to the left. I've turned on some lights that are over to my left, kind of more in front of me, and I have another light directly in front of me, or right over here to the right a little bit. And now you can see the shadow is kind of now under my hand. It's not on the work that I'm doing up here, which is a big improvement. All right, quick note about audio. I'm not an audio whiz. I do not have a fancy audio setup for my videos, but I do have a lavalier mic. And let me just unclip it here for a second and show it to you. So here it is, and that is a Smart Lav lavalier mic by Rode, R-O-D-E, and it was $75, so it wasn't cheap, but it's definitely not expensive as far as audio equipment goes. But what that allows me to do is when I'm talking while I'm creating art, I can pin this to my shirt, and then it's right under my mouth. It's close to my mouth. It's picking up what I'm saying clearly, and not picking up maybe other things that are going on. And then if I want to pick up the sound of what I'm doing, sometimes in penmanship, penmanship makes this cool sound with the pen on the page. So a lot of times I'll be creating art, I'm not talking, I'm just writing. And in that case, I'll take the lavalier mic off, which I'm going to do now. I'll speak up a little bit, and I'll set it off camera. I'll leave it on camera for this demonstration, but I'll put it off camera on top of the desk like this, and I'll just pick up the sound of the pen on the page. And a lot of people like hearing that while they're watching the video as far as penmanship goes. Now that might be specific to penmanship, but maybe there's other art forms where people want to hear your tools working while you create. And having a lavalier mic or some other type of mic that you can position in different places is a big advantage. I mean, really anything that gets the mic close to your mouth or close to whatever you want to pick up. If you're just turning on record on your iPhone and using the built-in iPhone mic, it's going to pick up a lot of ambient noise and things that are going on around you, which is not ideal. So whatever you can do in terms of a mic, just to improve that audio and make sure it's picking up something that's picking up, what you want people to hear, is going to be a big improvement on your videos. All right, so that's about everything I know about filming art, filming live art, filming penmanship, calligraphy, drawing, whatever you're doing on top of a table. I'm definitely not the expert on this subject, so please go out, look on YouTube, look online, see what other resources you can find about filming art. You might learn a lot more you will definitely learn a lot more than what I've shared in this video here today. And I'm really happy doing this video to show you what I know, and also hopefully to get a few tips from you out there on how maybe I can improve my setup. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. If you like what you've seen here today, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. That helps me out. And if you want to learn more about traditional American penmanship, then you can go to writewithyourarm.com, and you'll find tons of free information there about the great tradition of American penmanship. That's it. Thanks for watching.